Welcome back to this short cooking series. On the last episode, we talked about cheese, and today we're talking pie. Orange pie, specifically orange pie. I've got a couple oranges here. These oranges are a little bit different. These are Seville oranges. You can find these typically in hotter climates. So you'll find this in places like where I live in Arizona. These are decorative oranges. So because the flavor, if you just crack one of these guys open, it's not going to taste like the orange that you get from the store. It's very different. It's very very strong. There's not a lot of sugar in it. So what we're going to do with this, we're going to add a couple of ingredients. This is a really simple recipe to make it into a pie. Okay, so let's get out there and pick some oranges, and let's make some pie. Well, we've waited all year for these oranges, and now it's time to make orange pie. Okay, so first thing we're gonna do is start juicing. Now, these have seeds. It's got pulp. You're gonna notice a couple of things here. This specific juicer has got a strainer in it, but it's not nearly enough. I want no pulp, no seeds, no nothing in this juice, and we're looking to get a cup, total of a cup, to make this pie. Nice pulp-free juice. Now, I did wash these. It's important to wash your oranges, because it takes an entire year to grow an orange. Some people don't know that because not everybody lives where oranges grow. I'm in Arizona. So right now, you could probably see in the clip before when I was taking these off the tree, you could see the flowers, the white flowers on that tree. As soon as those blossoms start to fall off, each one of those flowers is going to turn into an orange. So you can only imagine over the course of a year how dirty an orange could get just sitting on that tree. So you make sure you wash your oranges. You can see that I'm wearing gloves to do this. This decorative orange, this specific type of orange, not only does it taste very different from the orange that you get at the grocery store, which is what I was talking about in the introduction, but it has a very pungent, very nice citrus smell to it, but it can stay on your hands for a very long time. It's a nice smell, but I don't want it on me all the time. Okay. And I'm all plugged up here. A lot of pulp here, that's okay. All right. Now we're going to pour this off. I'm going to make a little bit of a mess here too, that's okay. All right, and that's a cup. Let me grab a towel. Actually, I'm going to get rid of this. Grab my towel. Okay. Just wipe this up a little bit. We'll wipe that too so it doesn't make a mess when I move it over here. Now, we're going to make the filling. I'm going to wash this table after I'm all done, but that's just a quick and dirty cleanup. Okay, so we got our bowl. We've got a cup worth of our juice that goes in. This recipe is so simple, and it's no bake. It's the reason why I like it. The flavor is incredible. That's why everyone else likes it too. I'm putting in some food dye because, and it's totally optional. I get that not everybody wants food dye in their food. I get it. I'm putting dye in here because I want this filling to be orange. If you don't put anything in it, it's only slightly orange, which is fine, but I want a really nice orange. Okay. So like I said, totally optional. Just something that I do. Okay, this is sweetened condensed milk. This is where we're gonna get the missing sugar in that orange. I mentioned in the introduction that this is not a sweet orange. It's got a very, very familiar flavor if you're into creamsicles and all that kind of stuff, which I am. Childhood favorite, but it is missing the sugar. So we've got the juice, the sweetened condensed milk, and the food coloring. I'm just gonna kind of whisk this together before I fold in the whipped cream. Now, because this has the sweetened condensed milk, this is what's gonna make this filling firm up when it gets chilled. So, is it necessary? Yeah. Yeah, it is. It's necessary for this particular orange pie. I'm sure that you could use gelatin or some other means of doing it. Feel free to look into that if that's your thing. I'm going for easy, and this definitely is. Okay, now we're ready for the whipped topping. The whipped topping, we're gonna put in only half. It's just half, okay? Half of this is going in. Half is going in, okay? Because the other half is going on top of the filling after this is set. So we're just gonna fold this in. We can kind of give it a little bit of a mix and start folding. Start folding away. You don't want to beat the heck out of this whipped topping because whipped topping has air in it. That's what gives it the body, is that the combination of the fat in the dairy and the whipped air. That's what gives it the body. So we don't want to beat the heck out of this and get all that air out of there. We want some of that air to be still in there. And much like the sweetened condensed milk, the whipped topping is where more of the sugar comes from, to pull back that very aggressive citrus flavor that these oranges have. And the combination of the sweetness and that really powerful citrus is a really unique flavor. It's always asked for during family events. Okay. We got a few lumps in there. It doesn't have to be perfect. Okay, so now we're gonna cover this guy up. That's gonna go back in the fridge. And now we pour. This is a graham cracker crust. Any old graham cracker crust could do just fine. I went with the name brand, or you can do your own. This specific recipe, I go for flavor and speed. So simplicity is a must. Okay, so that is done. Give that just a little bit of a shake. Now this gets covered. Don't go real crazy with the crimp here. We're gonna be back in here in about an hour. Okay, so now both of these are gonna go in the fridge for about an hour. Then I'm gonna put this on top of this. We'll be right back. We're ready to finish up this pie, guys. Okay, so this has been in the fridge for about an hour. You can see it's got a little bit of a jiggle to it, but it's no longer runny. Okay, that's what we're after. So we're gonna finish up by putting the other half of this whipped topping just right on top. Try and get an even spread. Doesn't have to be perfect, but it's nice to make something that looks nice. It's gonna taste amazing. We already know that. So just take the time. You know, you saved a whole bunch of time by doing this recipe in the first place. Got minimal ingredients. Everything goes together real fast. So you can spend just a little bit of time here. Make it look nice. Push it right up to the edge. And that's done. Okay. So now we can just put the cover back on, crimp over the edges. You can bring this to a picnic or barbecue, 4th of July, whatever. I'm gonna take a piece out of it right now, just so that we can look at the inside. Okay. And I'm not gonna be nice about it. You can certainly be nicer about it. Use pie serving utensils. I'm not even gonna do that. I'm just gonna dive right in. Okay. I'm gonna put this on this little plate. Okay. You can see the mix of the orange and look at that. Graham cracker and all that. Now, if you were nice about this, it would come out like an actual piece of pie. I just went into it like a kind of like a meathead, but because you can see, because we put in the food coloring, we have a nice orange color. I'm gonna break up that graham cracker. I'm just gonna give it a little mix. So I could eat this with a spoon if I wanted to. I don't make this very often, but when I do, there's nothing like it. So I hope you enjoyed this episode on orange pie. Go ahead and give it a try. If you have access to Seville oranges, go ahead and give that a try. Everywhere that I've taken it, it's been really well received. So I wanted to show you this. This is the same pie frozen. The last time I took this to a family function, the leftovers ended up in the freezer, and when it came back out, it was just as good, if not better. This is really good, especially if it's really hot out or something like that. It's basically an orange sickle. Okay, so on the next episode, we're going to be doing a big cook. I've said before, I use a Traeger 22, and there may be some question whether or not the size is big enough to do large cooks. This is for the people who are doing, maybe you're going to do an event, maybe you're a meal prepper. I'm going to show you that if you stay organized with your cooking schedule, you can pull off a lot of meat just in one day. Okay, so for a complete list of all my equipment and the cost breakdown and all that other kind of stuff, I'm going to leave a link in the show notes back to the first episode so that you'll be able to see the complete breakdown of that. Thank you so much for being here, and I'll see you next time. Bye.